Greetings. My name is Angie, owner of NN Exclusive Salon and CEO and founder of Naturally Nap Hair and Skin, organic, natural, and organic products. Today, on this particular client, I am doing a palm roll maintenance, and I will also be giving her a pipe cleaner set. Okay, so as you can see, first thing I did was put Naturally Nap lock cream on. I massage it in my hand and then I rub it through the whole head. Then I palm roll and two strand close to the roots to make sure that it doesn't come apart and it's a nice and neat roll. So I start from the bottom. As you can see, I folded in half pipe cleaners in half, and I roll it going up from bottom to up. Now, the reason I do that is because it's more secure and the pipe cleaner piece at the top stay at the top. Now, I purchased my pipe cleaners from Michael's crafting store. You can purchase it anywhere you would like, but you have to pay attention to the thickness of the wire inside of the pipe cleaner, because if you have like a weak or soft wire inside of the pipe cleaner, you're gonna have to either double up or triple up for it to be able to hold the hair. I'm doing a 2 strand. That's her preference. She likes not 2 strand, but I'm doing 2 lock per pipe cleaner, and that's for her preference. She prefers it that way. She says it's not bulky, it's not too thick, and I understand it. So I kind of tend to doing it the client's way, and I've been doing her hair for 8 years. Nope, 2016, 8 years. Yes, I've been doing her hair for 8 years, and she's one of my out-of-town clients, so I give her like multiple style in one service, so that when she takes down one style, then it'll be another style. But anyway, so as you can see, I am starting in a certain section. I start from the nape of the neck and I work my way upward, but you have to pay attention to the detail, meaning you must have the layout in your head already, or it is not going to turn out how you want. So you have to have a layout in your head in order for it to be able to style a pipe cleaner set. Like I said, this is a normal day for me in a salon, so I do a lot of talking to I talk to all my clients. I know which one doesn't want to talk. I know which one do want to talk. We talk about a lot of stuff that's going on in Milwaukee, the world, my schooling, their job. It's multiple things that's be going on. During a day in a salon. I always make sure my parts are clean. They're not uniform, but they're clean. When I say clean, meaning there is no a piece of hair strand going to another lock from that's all the way on the other side. No. I like to make sure it's clean. Sometimes you have to pop the hair strand and separate it. So once again, you can see that I folded it in half and I put the lock in between the pipe cleaner, the folded pipe cleaner, and I secure it. You have to apply pressure. You must apply pressure, meaning pulling towards you and rolling upward. you can see that I pull the lock closer to my right hand, and that is to make sure that all the hair can fit under lock. So you can have it loosely, but her preference is for it to be tight and close to the end. So I pull the hair, I kind of pull towards the end and make more room for the rest of the lock to go on. Also, I want to let you guys know this camera is facing towards me, so everything I'm doing is opposite direction. So I am technically rolling the hair upward, of course, but I'm palm rolling the hair from left to right. So my left hand is going up and my right hand is going down. And I am roped when I do the 2-string, I go from my right over my left. This is a 3-hour service, depending on the length of the hair. This is a 3-hour service. So I'm going to speed up, and you're going to see the different technique that I am doing right now. Also, I feel like if you are somebody that know how to do roller set, this is the same way, except it is using locks on longer hair. She has been growing her locks for, I believe we are in year 19 or 20. It could be more. But I did give her a lock cut about 2 years ago, all the way up to her shoulders, and you can see how long her locks grew back. The reason we did that was because she started to thin at the top, and sometimes that is due to the heaviness of the lock, and you can either get a trim or a cut to help alleviate losing any of your hair, any of your locks, and bringing on alopecia. Like I said, I start from the nape and I work my way up. Also, if you can see that I always tell my clients to bend their head, bend their head forward so that it doesn't be tight in the back. Now, you can see that I'm rolling up this one by itself because it's a thicker lock. So, you want to use, get an idea of what locks need to be 2 or 1 or 3. It all depends on how the client or you are trying to style the pipe cleaner set. Now, here when I get to the side and the front, I kind of knew what I wanted to do with her hair. I wanted this side to be flat. So I made sure that when I palm rolled it and 2-string twist that I pulled, not pulled, but I had twisted the hair, the first lock closer towards the back, so I can get a flat look on the side. The other side I stopped because I knew I wanted to give her like a swoop in the front, so you will see that later on in the video. So like I said, you need to have like the pattern, the grid plan. You have to know all that before you start wrapping the locks in the pipe cleaner. Because if you don't have an idea of what you're going to do, the style is not going to come out the right way, and this is too much work for you to go back in and reverse it. it probably takes me about 45 minutes to wrap her hair. Like I said, it's a normal day for me at the salon, and we're just talking. So now I just slowed the video down so you can see how I have a bunch of my pipe cleaners already pre-folded. I just separate them one by one. You see how I placed it on there. It looked like a hairpin. You see how I wrapped it around at the bottom. And then you roll it up forward to the top. Here we're talking about she wants a makeover. She's 65, she turned 65 last month, and she wants to do a makeover. And she was asking my advice, and then she asked me to be her stylist. Of course I said yes. Okay, now you see I done wrapped up the whole head. Now I am prepping the hair, like in the position and in the sections that I want it to be in. So I am actually using hairpin. So I kind of slowed it down. Well, I'm speeding it up now, but I had it slow down so that you can see how I place the pins. I'm not even keeping the hairpins in. They just sitting on top so that I can move the hair and lock how I want. In this section here, it can get a little frustrating, but I try to be in a calm manner and my mental be relaxing, because sometimes this whole style would just fall apart and I'm like, oh my god, I just pinned this thing up and it just fell. So I'm taking my time, like pinning it up, like making sure everything is where it should be, and I'm using the longest hairpin available. So I'm just securing it in with the hairpin. You see how it stayed like that when I move my hand? Yeah. Your hand is your guide, and it makes sure that everything is in place. You see how it's staying up there? Remember I said I wanted that side flat? You see how I'm able to lay it perfectly flat. I'm sorry, I would end the video. Sometimes I forget that I am recording. So I'm all in the video. Okay, now you can see how flat it is. You see that? That is very flat. So how you are placing the pipe cleaner and retwisting the style does make a difference. Definitely. You see how that fell? Yeah. It happened. Don't get discouraged. Don't get frustrated. You can see the look on my face. Yeah. Because sometimes when stuff like this, styles like this can be very overwhelming. That's why you have to be in a calm and peaceful manner and mindset when doing styles like this. Just to say this, these are styles that cost a lot. When I say a lot, they are not included in my simple style at all. Okay, so Now I done prepped the hair. I see the little two that fell. I don't mind if one or two fall, but I need majority of the hair set. So now I'm over here trying to get the thread. Now when I sew in styles, my styles my thread do not show at all. My thread do not show at all. So when you get in your thread, make sure you are using just enough, but not too much, because you don't want it to tangle, because it does. It happens. It will tangle. It will tangle, and that is another way to be frustrated and overwhelmed. So if you might have to get a little piece of thread and rethread your needle about 3 or 4 times, so be it. Okay, so here I am starting at the back, and what I do is I go around in the perimeter. I go around the perimeter. So I'm just gonna go through the whole here, and the whole perimeter around the head. So I'm just gonna go in a circle. You see how much thread I have? I don't have that much thread, but it's gonna get me around her head and maybe twice. But you have to be careful where you are placing the thread, because you don't want the thread to show. You see, I'm going around in the perimeter. I'm going to the top, making sure the locks is where I want them to be. If the lock isn't where I want it to be, I kind of adjust it before I even sew it in. Because once you sew it in, you will have to cut the thread, and it's basically like starting all over. Now, if you are someone who used to do weave or are currently doing hair weaving, sewing, you will have no problem with sewing in a style. So I'm just basically going around the perimeter. I've been doing like sewing my lock styles in for, oh my God, over 10 years, maybe 11 years. And I would do this before I bobby pin. My clients love it. I mean, I do have a lot of out-of-town clients that fly in, fly out. They have no issue going through TSA, because there is nothing, no bobby pin and nothing in their hair. So you see how little bit of the thread I got left? I try to do, like, instead of making a knot, I would go back in, back out, back in, back out, until I feel like it's secure enough, and then I cut it. Now that's my first thread. Now I'm finna rethread it again. And you can see she's moving her head. The only thing that's moving is the thread. You see how flat that is? Both sides flat. Oh my God, that's flat. But anyway, so I go back in, and she was telling me something was sticking her. So that happened. I kind of pull that piece that's sticking her, the pipe cleaner, and I pull it out. Because what I'm going to do is, at the end of all this, I'm going to cut it out, so nothing is sticking her. I'm going to show you how to do the test on any pipe cleaner sticking out. So here I am going in. Now I'm going inside in sections that I didn't do before. So I'm just sewing it in. So I'm going the inside of it now and securing that area. And once again, you want to make sure the thread is not showing. You pull hard. Make sure the locks are close together. Make sure the client head is bent over like that too, because you don't want to secure the style and then they be like, oh my God, it's tight. No. You want to make sure they bend their head at all times. Now I'm working on the top, since I already got that middle section. Another piece is sticking her, fixing it, pulling it out. my clients know that I don't want them to feel any pain, anything sticking them, anything hurting. You let me know right away, because once I secure a style, it's going to be hard to go back in and adjust it. Like I said, once you start working with the thread and securing, sewing up the style, here I am, I'm going to let her husband in. So I always try to put the thread and needle where I can see it at. And here goes, that was thread number 2. Now I'm finna rethread for the 3rd time, and this time, because I'm completely done in the back. I gotta give me a sipper of tea. All the talking make you thirsty. So here I am again, doing my 3rd thread. And now I am doing her size 2. Actually doing 1 lock at a time, securing it. I wish I did have the camera the opposite way. I apologize for that. But once she turn around and you see the end, the pictures at the end, you will see the final, how I sewed it. This is one of her favorite styles. It's not just her favorite style, it's also her husband's favorite style. Like I said, they're out of towner. They don't live in Wisconsin at all. And they come to see me, I believe, every other month, I believe. And the husband always tell me he don't mind doing the drive-in because I do an excellent job on his wife's hair. But I always get his approval of how her hair looks, because he's very active. Like, he loves to watch me style her hair. He loves how I do her hair. Also, I'm gonna say this, my cabinet that you see my product on, he designed and made that for me. Also, he made me some counters that's behind us, but you'll be able to see it in another video. You're probably gonna be able to see it in this at the end when I show off her final style. Like I said, I am doing 1 lock at a time, so. And I think I did it already, to tell you the truth. And I'm just cutting it out. You see how nice and smooth that is? You would have never thought her hair was as long as it is, just by looking at that. And some people can't even tell how the hair was done, just by looking at it. Okay, I'm finna tell you guys. Okay, in this part of the video, as a lot of people know about my opossum story. So we're kind of like talking about that. We're just talking about it, but in a minute, everybody's just gonna be rolling out their chair. You know, I went through this. It was probably about 4 years ago. Somehow, an opossum was in my car, a baby opossum, and I was cleaning it out, and I haven't drove this car in like a long time. So me and my boys was cleaning it out, and I was getting ready to junk it. And my boy, I told him to look inside the bags and stuff and make sure. But kids back then, they were kids back then. They didn't do that, so they just grabbed a bag and put it in the house, right in my room. One of them was put a bag on my bed, and I was like, why is this dirty bag on my bed? So I threw it on the floor. I left the room for I don't know how long, but I came back, and oh my God, I came back. It was like, okay, let me also say I have had a rabbit at the time too. I had a rabbit and 3 cats, and I was like, who was playing in this bag? They don't rip the bag up, so I ain't even thinking nothing about it. So it's time to go to bed. It was a hot summer day, and I felt something running on my bed, and I'm like, oh, my rabbit must have jumped on my bed. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. But then I woke up and was like, I know, because something fell off my dresser, and I'm like, I know there's a possum ain't on my dresser, right, y'all? I know. I turned the light on. It was a whole damn baby opossum staring me in the face. When I say I was screaming and screaming and screaming and jumping, kind of got to the corner of my bed by the headboard. I'm scrunched up, and I couldn't even move. I was so scared. So I'm screaming, and my daughter heard me, but didn't nobody come to the room, and the one son that did come to the room, he done closed the door back and left me in the room. So now they all laughing about that. And then, to come to find out, the baby must have got left in the car. I don't know how the family got into my car, but that's just how it, I don't know. But it was a baby opossum just staring at me on the dresser. I mean, when I say it was running all over my bed, it was running all over my bed. And I'm like, what is this rabbit on? I'm thinking it's my rabbit. Kind of find out my rabbit was in his cage. My cats came and sniffed in the room and turned around and went back. I mean, it took 2 days, I believe, 2 to 3 days for a friend of mine that worked for a pest control company to come in and catch it. He did set up a trap and caught it. Man, I kind of tell that story every now and then, and I stopped talking to this friend, so this person used to contact me every so often and be like, oh, have you seen our opossum lately? That's a joke, but it wasn't funny to me, but anyway. So when I see raccoons and opossum, I am terrified. Luckily it was a baby opossum, or it would have attacked me. It would have attacked me. So you can see Miss Robin just rolling all over the chair. He back there cracking up as well. I felt it a little bit, but nah, I'm traumatized by that situation. Never again. So I study when I see stuff like that, and I try not to leave stuff in my car too long, or if it's something that they can hide under. I don't play that. I do not play that. So that's how we're having that discussion. I couldn't even finish her hair right. She was laughing so hard. That's why I'm like, let me just let her laugh. Finish the story. See, I was letting that part was we was talking about how my son closed the door. But anyway, you can see how she's moving around. This style is not coming down. That's why my lady love when I sew their hearing. Okay, so now she's feeling some of the pipe cleaners are sticking her. And I'm gonna show you how to do the test on how to test to make sure that if any pipe cleaners are poking, sticking, feel like that tip needs to be cut out. Okay, now I am snipping out all the pipe cleaners that were poking her prior to me finishing. You have to be really careful on that part. So now I'm going along and I'm pressing on the top of her head. I'm pressing, having her press back onto my hand. Those are different ways to check to make sure the pipe cleaners are, if pipe cleaners are sticking. Now I'm just going across her edge with some edge control. I use Shine and Jam that has honey in it. People think edge control is what break the hair off. No, edge control do not break the hair off. It is if you do not wash your hair between putting the edge, your edges, your face. So now I am putting her under the dryer. I just want to put the edge, the strap on her head. You see how that is? You see how laid out that is? You see how smooth that is? Yeah. Yeah. And it's not heavy at all. You guys stay humble, be peaceful. I'm out. I'm out. Stay humble, be peaceful, and love each other. Now I'm out.